World the Middle East peace will. The 14th of May Gaza border Israeli soldiers shot lost their lives about 60 Palestinian. The Middle East bleeding started 70 years ago, in 1948 on May 15th. On the Palestinians' own land evicted from the Israeli state was established. Please don't forget subscribe channel, like, comment, share and click bell button for update notification. Then his land to restore the Palestinians the movement of the name. But humanity to protect the world's strong position of develop. Even Muslim majority of being the Muslim world full support not. International law, according to the East Jerusalem, Israel, the presence of illegal occupation as marked. 1967 Arab-Israeli during the War of the East Jerusalem occupied. The last 5 of the Middle East peace talks 1967 the position of Israel, Pahota talking to have been. But the triumph administration of America came to power after Israel to the United States policy change occurs. Last December states Jerusalem, Israel, the capital recognized. Of line on May 14th, Oil Lviv from the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem is transferred. And Trump to make this decision affects the United States Hebraical Christians. Jerusalem American Embassy introduction to protest. The protests burst the Palestinians. On May 14th, Gaza border Israeli soldiers shot lost their lives about 60 Palestinian. Jerusalem, the U.S. Embassy officially launched to the next day one of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu America Hebraical Christians to want to know, then they what you want to. Prime Minister Netanyahu's office conference room of the meeting was organized in. There President Trump pressure on the creation of the embassy to transfer Netanyahu religious thanked. New York Times, one of the reports said, the meeting Netanyahu some of the country, the name of the want to know, and any of the embassy transfer to be. America by following the Guatemala, Paraguay and Honduras already their embassy in Jerusalem to announced. But Brazil, India and China's what news? Attended the meeting in Miami at church Cuban-American priest and Trump supporter of Mario. He said the Prime Minister was very excited. Of Jerusalem about luck Jewish state of Israel, a long-time dependent was the Jews in. But the most recently Netanyahu its historical and strategic change the location of the influential Evangelical Christians dependent on the fall. American Jews Israel from a way to risk in Netanyahu in US take. Most of Hebraical Christian faith to the God of Israel special status. In this way, many of the Jewish state hardline support too. They were the same with argue, sin for the release of Jesus Savior as you have to accept. Washington Netanyahu strong ally. Their triumph Hebraical Christians support well work made. Trump Hebraical advisors many last week in Jerusalem embassy established and Netanyahu would attended the meeting. But the liberal Israelis warn that Israeli right-wing and Christian danpinthi growing in close cooperation polarization strengthen our Washington Israel to support a party form is. As a result, embassy the establishment of the Democratic any lawmaker did not join. Report, liberal Jews Israel to dual policy complaint brought. They said, Netanyahu's the right wing the government of the left politicians against complaints the hard US took. But conservative supporters of the kind of dealing. Jews and Christians relationship of work to organization League Interfaith Director Rabbi David said, voters less is not. So Israeli government to say that, we issue that any about the importance of like to do in order to vote effect. Robert Joseph a church priest and Trump hardline supporters. Jose pray with Jerusalem embassy the opening of the program began. He warned that said one of the Jewish if you save will not get. Hinduism, serious supporters of permanent address to hell. Recently Jerusalem, the U.S. Embassy officially started. Reuters liberal Israeli magazine last Friday published one editorial is called, It Most American Jews for Severe Injury. Editorial is alleged, Evangelical Alliance current power base on Israel position decay catch United Jews please don't forget subscribe channel, like, comment, share and click bell button for update notification. Think, Evangelical Christians Jews values a threat to and the separate the risk was created. Our next to November may have to wait. And the U.S. Senate and representative of the control the Democrats into the hands can be. Embassy in the opening of the President of the Israel America Ambassador David M. Friedman. He said, Christians Jewish community than devotion and respect with Israel to support thee. In an interview Friedman said, your country conducted. So your friends and alliance necessary. Your people need protection. Liberal American Jews with Netanyahu's relationship shaky was. They do, it was part of Palestine with peace talks to start Netanyahu abnormal Jew too. Of greater because except Judaism and Jerusalem Western Wall are the Buric area about prayer reformist and conservative the leaders of debate with Israel ultra-Orthodox priests to his silent support. Hebraical alliance him liberal Jews happy to the requirements of the free can. Netanyahu Lifistory author Anshel Praf in an interview said, his faith, and they integrate, evangelical with was going and Jewish identity eager to not be. He said, the United States minority Orthodox Jews the next 1 or 2 decades in the majority of the American Jewish will. According to him, American Jews, not the Republican and evangelical Christians to Israel to the support of the basis. Public opinion survey, according to the United States in Israeli government support to the growing and left critical of the population survey says the United States Jewish voters decreasing. In the non-Orthodox voters decreasing widely. Different program Evan Hickel bring the Washington Israel ambassador Ron Dahmer. He in an interview Evan Hickel, devout Christian, described by the Now They Israel to the United States support base. They are the US population 1/4 to be, and that the Jewish people than 10, 15 and 5 times more. And worldwide Evan Hickel Christians number to like. In the number of 60 million to be. Ron Dahmer said, Israel rarely America liberal and Democrat Jews support wanted to. You a change can speak. However, a wide range of and bipartisan strong support important to US.